Are you really starborn if you're not hunting for the artifacts? When you stop racing toward glimpsing the unity? Figure out your own truth and hold on to it. It could end up being the only constant you have amidst the infinite worlds that will stretch out before you.
With just over 35 hours played, I have finished the main questline of Starfield. Previously, in my in-progress review, I went into detail regarding 5 key factors I look for in a video game: gameplay, music, level design, story, and atmosphere. For this video, I'll be focusing on the story, as in my last review that was a stone largely left unturned as I hadn't finished it yet. So if you're interested in what was said about the other 4 factors, I'll link that review in the description. Starfield's main questline is an interesting one. You begin your journey in the mines, learning the ropes and gathering resources before you discover your first artifact. These are mysterious pieces of something much bigger, and after being recruited to a group called Constellation, whose quest it is to find all of these artifacts and learn more about space and its mysteries, you're tasked with going to find these remaining artifacts. It's simple, and it starts out that way. You'll go from planet to planet, finding these artifacts throughout the settled systems for the duration of the main questline. It's an interesting concept, and I honestly appreciated the lack of context and explanation given to what you're tasked with doing. The story wants you to feel just as puzzled as the other characters, allowing you to learn alongside them. Unfortunately though, I found the pacing to be incredibly slow. In fact, I didn't find it super interesting until around the 10-hour mark. To give a bit more detail, the story and its concept is established the first time you enter the lodge, and it's there that the dialogue is genuinely interesting and intriguing. However, once you actually start searching for these artifacts, it begins to drag. For the first 10-ish hours, the story felt like it was building up to something really big, and that's why I decided to hang on, because I could feel that there would be a payoff other than the cool items and abilities you get from doing these main quests. Luckily, again, after that 10-ish hour mark, the payoff peeked its head over the horizon, and things started to get super interesting. You find out that you're not the only one searching for these artifacts, but there's another form of being, the Starborn, that are also after the very same thing. The Starborn are slowly introduced and explored, leaving a good amount of time to ponder what these beings are and where they came from. The moment the Starborn were introduced was the moment that I only really felt the need to play the main quests. I didn't want to do anything else because the story was actually getting really good. I'll spare the details regarding those that died during my playthrough, but these Starborn don't mess around, and it was made very clear that these artifacts were something bigger than I had thought. The Starborn mentioned that humans are not ready to discover unity, and are trying to prevent us from reaching it. Unity isn't elaborated on, so you and your crew spend the next while deciphering what this could mean. Eventually, you speak with the different religious groups of the settled systems, House Varun, the Enlightened, and Sanctum Universum, and discover that their respective scriptures have something in common, and that there was once a nomad-type figure. Sanctum Universum calls him the Pilgrim, who wandered the settled systems in search of unity. Many believed that it was what brought the settled systems together in the first place, but after the Starborn enter the picture, that idea starts to morph into something much bigger and complex. You follow this trail of breadcrumbs to discover that the Pilgrim was in fact a real person, and did leave his discoveries for someone to find. That someone being you. You find the Pilgrim's final resting place, which contains the final piece of the puzzle. This portion of the story for me was some of the most interesting I've played in any game in a very long time. Without getting too personal into beliefs and such, I've never identified as a religious person, but I've always had a fascination with creation stories from all different religions, but now that space is involved, and interstellar beings, it brought that fascination to a whole other level. It is abundantly clear that the writers of Starfield spent a ton of time fully fleshing out these different religions and ideas, and crafting them to fit like a glove within this vast game and its story. Eventually, you're invited onto a Starborn ship where you speak with 2 beings, the Hunter, who is our first encounter with the Starborn, trying to prevent you from reaching your goal, and the Emissary, a being of reason who reveals himself to be none other than someone I'll spare the surprise of being. No, it's not you. But we learn that unity is actually the multiverse, the infinite, In every universe, the Starborn collect these artifacts, but somehow in the universe we play in Starfield, we overcome the Starborn and make it further than humans ever have in any other universe. You choose whether you want to side with the hunter or the emissary. I chose the emissary, and together we destroyed the remaining Starborn guarding the final temple to Unity. Here's what I find to be the coolest way I've ever seen New Game Plus introduced. Upon going into the Infinite, entering Unity, you will awaken in a different universe in which everything resets. You keep your skills and your level, but every relationship you've made, all your gear, your credits, are all erased because they haven't been obtained in this new universe. Obviously, I chose to walk away from Unity because I don't want to get rid of all my stuff quite yet, but I seriously considered it. You speak with a Starborn version of yourself who shows you what your current universe will look like if you choose to stay. In my case, I did everything the UC SysDef asked me, but they got upset and tried to kill me. So in my universe, I'm a pirate who helped the Crimson Fleet along possibly the greatest treasure hunt I've ever experienced. But now, the settled systems are a dangerous and corrupt place run by merciless pirates. I didn't really want that, but I do really like my Revenant rifle, so either way, New Game Plus being an actual choice you have to make, and having it genuinely be the conclusion to the story, is such an original and interesting idea that I've never seen done before. I missed a ton of details about this game's story, but if you're here, you've either finished it for yourself, or plan on doing so, but don't care for spoilers, so I do want to keep some things a surprise. Overall, Starfield's main story, despite taking many hours to really begin to pick up, is an incredibly unique and interesting experience. Very few games are as genuinely thought-provoking as I found Starfield to be. It's so full of detail and effort that if you decide to push through the first hours of it, it does pay off. It really does. I sat in my room and just stared at my monitor for a good 15 minutes when I finished the main quest line before deciding it was time to go to sleep. I think the last game that made me do that was God of War Ragnarok. Starfield's main story is absolutely beautiful and takes you to some truly awe-inspiring locations across the set of systems, and I'm honestly ecstatic that I decided to keep going despite its slow start, because it really was worth it. I'd love to give this game a higher score, but I do think that the pacing does hinder its playability quite a bit. I've revamped my grading system since the in-progress review, so here it is in all its glory, Starfield. If you made it to the end of the video, I thank you very much. If you enjoyed it, you can give it a like, helps out a lot. So does subscribing, that's another cool thing that you can do on YouTube. But, much like the contents of Starfield's main questline, the choice is yours, so peace and love, my friends.